Hello and welcome to the MODversation, modification conversation. On today's episode, episode 21, it's raining cats and dogs outside, thanks to the bomb cyclone and the atmospheric river hitting the west coast. I thought I would take the time to do a part two of the new YouTube channel video I made a few weeks ago. Back then it was 5 weeks in, now it's 9 weeks in. And it's great. I like having a channel. I'm going through a relocation, quick family emergency thing. And having a channel for me is great because it's sort of something that helps me keep my mind off of it and sort of grounds me in all the manicness that I'm experiencing with relocation. So for me, a channel is great. I have a little bit of concern with just YouTube in general. It just seems like there's so much, talk about the algorithm and the analytics have, the retention levels. And it seems like that it can monitor when someone swipes away from your video. But do they really capture, like, when I come back to it later? I refer to this as the blockbuster horrible movie syndrome, where it used to be, you would rent a movie, so you would have to get through the whole thing before you took it back, right? So you would watch it in like 20-minute increments. I do a similar thing where sometimes I don't, I'm not, it's not that I'm not enjoying the video, right? I just wonder if YouTube's tracking when I come back to that video later. I liked it. I just needed to do something else. Like I needed to go maybe check the laundry or something. And I did swipe away from the video, but is it hurting the analytics of the person I'm subscribed to? That's my question. That's something that's been sort of on my mind, and I didn't know if anybody else was talking about this yet. So does the analytics keep track of when I come back to it later and watch another 20 minutes of that video or 2 minutes or whatever? I, I eventually do get through the whole thing and sometimes remember to even like it. But I hope YouTube is keeping track of all that so that my haphazardness, because there's no etiquette in being an audience member on YouTube. If I think if most of the audience members knew that when they swipe away it hurts the person, they might let it play a little longer. I don't know, maybe not, but that's just one of the things I had on my mind for the episode 21 of the MODversation, where I kind of dive back into being a new YouTube user and content creator and what it's like in the early stages where I had a video. There was two videos going neck and neck trying to get to 300 and one surpassed, and it was a modification. It was a car thing, and I will do more car things, I promise. I just thought it's because it's raining, and I'm gonna drive to Sacramento tomorrow and do a rear brake video with. I'm gonna get some help with it and not do everything by myself. So let's hope that happens tomorrow. So I had these two videos trying to get to 300, and one finally made it. It was the 18 plus one, and so the other one's trying to make it too. And I did a Fresno, moving to Fresno part 3, where I kind of dive into a little more of the packing and getting ready. And that one's doing well too. Every time I look at it, it's jumped up 10. And I think my viewers it just takes longer for a video to get going for me. I don't have like my views trickle. Like if I have a video doing well, the other ones gain one or two or three or four. So I'm in the early stages. It's only been 9 weeks. So I wish I would have been monetized by now, but it looks like it's going to take a lot longer than I thought. So as a YouTube watcher, I got tired of commercials being forced down my throat, right? And so I signed up for YouTube Premium. Here's what I wish. I wish people like Bill Maher and other people, like, why does Club Random have so many little commercials? And you're a rich man, Bill. Please stop it with I mean, maybe it has something to do with how you've worked it out with who films it or who takes care of all the tedious stuff for you, where they just get all the ad revenue. But let me tell you, as a YouTube viewer who signed up for YouTube Premium with no commercials, when I see one like that, it's a fast forward or a swipe away. And that's why, as a YouTube content creator, I will never do sponsorship, or I will never have you click through. I never give links to my Amazon products that I feature because I'm not going to get any money from it. It's not worth for the little trickle that you get. it's not worth me bothering my audience with it. So I will never ask you for money that way or to click through that way. I'm not going to read you some sponsor stuff that way. I don't want to waste your time. I want to get to the car stuff, right? And car stuff is returning. I just thought I'd branch out a little bit on being a YouTube user like that. So that's why I'm only on YouTube. I'm not on Instagram with this. I'm not on Facebook with this. I'm not on TikTok yet with this. I'm only on YouTube. So I will never ask you for money. So if you see a comment, I have my comments on strict because when I first had a few basic, restrictions, there was only scammers. So I don't want my subscribers who I value or my audience members who are just here to see it and leave. I don't want anyone to be bothered with scammers, with bad comments, with sponsorship, any of that stuff. So that's sort of a little bit of a high horse for me. But when I'm watching something that I like even Linus Tech Tips, come on, man, put that sponsor thing at the end or something because I have YouTube Premium. I don't want to see any commercials. I just wish all of these content creators kept in mind that YouTube Premium members are paying that money to not have any commercials. So there's a little bit more I have to say. I just wanted to get those things sort of off my chest in the beginning. There's another rant I'm going to go on in a second. So thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. And thanks for caring. It's interesting because doing relocation, so I recently quit my job and I'm relocating. And in reflection, I'm realizing that my YouTube persona is changing, my YouTube niche is changing, and sort of how I'm doing things is changing. And I've been wanting to start a YouTube channel for years. And I just couldn't see how to do it. And it wasn't until I had sort of streamlined my job for enough time that I could give it enough thought. And I was having fun with it. I was staying up until, 2, 3, 4 a.m. And I was making shorts and I was having fun. And I was learning so much and I was able to see in real time how I was learning and performing and how it was performing. It was just a lot of fun. Now that I'm relocating, I don't have a lot of time and energy. I had to pull back a little bit and sort of see where I was. And I realize now that I need to make the shorts again. The shorts of how I was getting a lot of views. And, I can make a short that will get 500 views like that and then stop. And then once in a while, I'll get one that goes to 1,000 and it'll just stop. And it'll trickle in. I got some that I didn't know would, I got one that made 2,500 views like that and then just stop. I don't really understand, why they stop, right? So that just makes me think about how I need to get back into them again because I want to get monetized, so I'm focused on the long form videos. And right now, I've got 2 long form videos that are racing neck and neck to break the 300 views mark. I've never had a video do more than 223 views, right? And so I put out one about moving to Fresno, part 2, and that is so. The first one was the 18 plus modifications that I did. That one took off in a way that was exciting to me. It was my best performing long form video to date. And it got 100 and something video views really fast. And then now it's trickling. And it's up to like 280 or 290. And then the moving to Fresno part 2 video also took off. And so these 2 videos are one's at like 285 and one's at 295. And they're both trying to get to 300. And I can't wait till one of them does. And so that's how my niche is changing. It was just going to be about car modifications and, my Mark IV Golf, which I love. And it's the reason why I'm doing the channel. And so I was fighting the niche changing a little bit, but for some reason I put out these videos. So now my niche is It's also, yeah, it's the Mark IV Golf modifications, but it's also this moving to Fresno relocation thing. And it's the YouTube channel, this kind of video, this podcast type video. And so I've got this niche, and then I'm going to start, one of my playlists is going to be a podcast about, it's called Modern Exposure, right? So it's going to be episode by episode, be breaking down and commentating every Northern Exposure episode. And it's going to be, exciting. It's going to talk about how the characters were written so well when the show began that they could just grow. A lot of times, I think with Seinfeld too, characters didn't really get going until later. But with this show, every character is so crucial and so important. And you've got, there's so much involved that's going to be another YouTube, So the niche is changing into, I wish the categories were better at describing it, but it's like a man in his 50s living alone who likes to work on a car that he loves, who's relocating back home after a divorce, who's also into Northern Exposure, right? So my niche is going to be so weird that, but let it grow. Let your niche grow, I think, because it's what your viewers want to see, your subscribers want to see. And if they're enjoying it, keep doing it, I say. So that's why I'm posting this to my feed, because it's your channel. You've subscribed to it. You should know what I'm doing, and how it's going. My YouTube channel, I was excited. I'm still excited. I'm conscious about how I'm changing and how the niche is changing and how the channel is changing. And so, and the way I'm doing things is different. I didn't know how I was going to start the channel, so I just recorded footage of everything for 2 years. And when I decided to do the channel, I made videos based on that footage, and me sort of narrating what's going to happen, showing the footage, and then that. But I've used up all the footage that I think is good for videos, and now I'm glad that I had that, because now I know how to film the next part for you. So I'm doing the oil change, the rear brake pads, the cabin filter, even the key fob video. These kind of things, I'm learning how to do them, all over again, which is great, because the footage helped me to get an editing system down, and I've got it. I'm using iMovie. The stuff that I want to do with CANVA, I can't really do, because even though I'm using CANVA Pro, because I love to make thumbnails in CANVA because it's quick. You just, as I need to make it, when it's time to make it, it's the same way that I receive things. It's the same way that I've done everything I've ever done in my life. The way I do YouTube is how I've always done every job I've ever had. So when it's time for the web picture or the item picture or whatever, so the thumbnail to me is something that I do when I'm uploading the video, and I just go to Canva and I use screenshots. So I'll do a duplicate picture of the last thumbnail I did. And in Canva Pro, to me, it's worth the $16 a month, whatever it is, $14 a month, because it's got a background remover at the click of a button. And to me, that just makes life so much easier for thumbnails. That's worth it. As long as I'm doing this, I don't mind the 16, 14, whatever bucks a month, because that background remover makes thumbnails really easy. So as I'm uploading the video, I'll go, I'll just bring up the Canva tab, and I'll make the thumbnail, and then I'll do, in Mac, it's Control-Shift-4, so you can choose the size of your screenshot. And I'll take a screenshot of the picture alone. So when I'm uploading, I just go to my desktop, look for the most recent screenshot, and that's my thumbnail. And it doesn't take that long, because I like that my thumbnails are the same basic. It's a system. It's a brand. I've got the tartan plaid in the background, and I put things over that, and I have my text big, and all my thumbnails look similar, which I want, because I want the brand to be attractive. And when people see it in the feeds and they notice multiple of them, I want them to be able to click on it and know that they can binge watch some things. That's why recently I made 4 videos, and I posted one after the other as I was finishing them. So it was like, I did the Fresno part 2, and then I did 3 of the other ones. I did key fob, the travel bag, and I did the headliner repair. I feel like I'm 1 or 2 settings away from monetizing. I don't understand why YouTube isn't set up to just always be successful. Why do I have to figure out the settings to make myself monetize? And I know that the algorithm, I know that it wants to help me, but I feel like I'm doing something wrong in the settings or how I'm doing it, or maybe the tags. I don't know. And I think the categories aren't broad enough. Like, I feel like I hate choosing a category for something because aside from the car modifications, I feel like it doesn't do it justice. Whatever I have to say in this one, I'm going to go to the categories and go, well, it could be that, that, or that, really. So is my choosing the right one there or the wrong one going to affect the views and the later monetization? I wish it was more clear, you know? So I need to do more shorts. I have 2 shorts in mind to do tonight, but I don't want to stay up that late like I was. So I'll probably outline them and get them ready for a later time to do them. I want to get these videos out as soon as I can. I did a part 2. I did a part 3 to the moving to Fresno video because the moving to Fresno video is it was climbing the fastest. I couldn't believe people were so interested in that. Like my first 2 videos, I had basic comments set, but I got some scammers who were like wanting me to send them money, and it was your classic scammer routine. And I don't want my subscribers and people that comment to be, you know, even exposed to that. So I set everyone for strict, and that's just what I don't know if that's the right thing to do, but I want it strict. I don't want to have to mute or delete any more of these scammers. So I want YouTube to do a job and look at them better. So I don't know if that's hurting me or not, but I like the fact that they're all strict. And I might go back one day and put them all to basic and just try it out. But I already had that experience. As I go over all my old videos, I know I have homework to do, right? I need to look at the first video and edit the description. Look at the thumbnail and see if it should be better. I know it needs to be. I just haven't had the time or sat down to do it because I want to get more videos. I want to churn out more content, but I need to stop and look at my homework. I need to go back, look at all the descriptions, and make them uniform and better. Wherever it says coming soon for the website, I need to erase that because the website is up and it's time for me to start adding to that. You know, I want to get some t-shirts made for sale. I want to get some portable document files, some PDFs. I want to get you some, you know, walk around checklist video documents. I want to be helpful. Let's say you have a company car and you need to walk around it every day. I want you to have something you can, like the insurance companies have. Just check a little checklist. You can mark on the picture of the car where the dent or scratch is, stuff like that. So I need to go back and look at every description, every thumbnail, try and improve it. And my advice is to let a video breathe. You know, when I put those 3 videos out at the same time, pretty much, it was the key fob, travel kit, and the headliner repair. And they weren't doing anything. But the Fresno video was, the moving to Fresno part 2 was taken off. And then I noticed that other videos, the analytics, they were increasing as well. So when people were going and watching the video, they were checking out the channel and they were seeing the other videos and they were binge watching. And I feel like that is something that I didn't think about when I was starting. As I finished a video, I would upload it. If I had it to do over again, I would have started with 5 or 10. And that's why when I do this podcast with a friend of mine, I'm gonna make sure we have 6 videos. I picked 6, so 6 videos recorded and edited. I'm gonna release one every day until we have them, and then it's gonna be one a week. But I want to have one a day so that there's a lot of them. I mean, I might just do 6 at once because when you're there, you should be able to binge watch some things because people like to binge watch. We're used to it. We've been trained to binge watch with all these streaming services, right? I have a lot of work to do. I'm glad that I learned the intros lesson. I mean, I do need to kind of go in and edit a lot of my older videos. I'm going to leave the intros in, the ones that still have it, because I like going back and seeing it. For me, it's nice, but I don't want to lose views, so I may have to go back and edit all of those intros out at one point. I like just starting into it. I think it's good. It doesn't waste my viewers' time, and I don't need the intro there as much. So that's my new way of doing it. I started a YouTube channel 9 weeks ago. It was late August, and I did take a week off to decide about relocation. And I've had a couple days to pack. So I've been pretty much working on it every day, whether I'm making notes or little cheat sheets or little whatever. I've got a lot of little outlines to the videos, and things are happening. I hope you get something out of it. I hope you can leave me a comment if you have a suggestion or a tip on something. But I use iMovie to edit and CANVA for thumbnails, and I like it. So thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. This has been episode 21. I started a YouTube channel 9 weeks ago. This is part 2 of that. And my observations, what I think is good, what I think is weird. And please comment. Tell me your experience. Tell me what you like, what you think is good. If you have a tip or a trick, I will listen. So thanks for watching. Cheers.